jump straight into the action, boys. We don't have any time to waste. This Dragon Warhammer right here is undoubtedly one of the most underestimated slapping machines of all time. For a weapon that only requires 60 attack, the back-to-back accuracy of this weapon is phenomenal. Not to mention the fact that a lot of players forget that the special attack of this weapon lowers their defense by 30%. Even if I only were to hit them with a 1. And since this weapon is much more uncommon in the PvP scene, players also forget how much damage the special attack of this weapon can deliver. Watch as we tenderize these cowboys like bag of raw hamburgers, sending them straight back to Lumbridge at hamburger speeds. Wow. Oh, and by the way, boys, timing is everything. And unfortunately for this little chat, his time has run out. Ha 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 ha, wow. And we managed to pull off with some massive bank loot, along with those shiny dragon daddy legs. Wow. Alright boys, pay close attention to what happens to this Void Ranger. This clip right here captures the true powers of the Dragon Warhammer. First we drop the first special attack, hitting a 32 and lowering his defense by 30%. Followed by a detrimental 65 to the back of the head, turning this cowboy into a pair of leather boots. And you boys know how we feel about leather boots in old school RuneScape, boys. They're big time garbage. Wow. Speaking of big time garbage, take a look at this barefoot hooligan, who went by the name of, Indeed. This Johnny Bravo goblin kept attacking me while risking absolute bank gear, trying to look fancy for the camera with his alpha male risk. But little did this high roller realize, was that my dragon meat tenderizer was 10 times more powerful than he would ever expect. My god boys, did you see that? Right as this mayonnaise face clown was typing on his keyboard, I delivered a massive 55 to the back of the neck, smiting down the rest of his health and his prayers at the exact same time. And what do you know, boys? He had dragon fucking claws. Wow. At first I didn't know what to think, given the fact that he used both of his whip special attacks in a row on me, right before I slapped him down. But what he says when he returns makes what happened a lot more clear.
How did my claws not switch? I just double whip spec'd you.
This guy must have been so high from huffing paint thinner, that he actually thought that he was declaw specking me, when in reality, he was still using his tentacle whip. Wow. However, the worlds were ridiculously laggy on this particular day. But huffing paint thinner seems much more fitting to explain this cowboy's horrible fighting skills. Anyhow, whether this guy went into the fight knowing he could lose around 17 million coins, I don't think getting smited for his dragon claws was even slightly on his mind, which is why this young cowboy is one of the biggest pair of leather boots that we have ever seen in quite some time. Wow. Good fight indeed. You are indeed an idiot. Wow. Just like this clown by the name of Bernie, who just got clapped like a Lumbridge chicken. Oh, and by the way, Communist Bernie doesn't stand a chance against me this year, city boy. Vote 25 buttholes for president, boys, along with CEO of Jagex. Everybody else can burn inside the lake of fire for eternity. Wow. Oh yeah boys, something about that beat makes me want to swallow an entire bottle of WD-40. Which was probably the exact thought of that high-risking cowboy who just lost his berserker ring with the quickness to the almighty dragon Warhammer. And just like that butterstick cowboy, many others followed in his hamburger footsteps as we tenderized each and every one of these snow rats like a fresh can of Spam pork. That's what happens when you get caught talking that hot garbage. Now boys, have you ever seen someone that looked like such free loot, that you couldn't help but want to punch them? Directly in their face? Well, that's exactly what I was thinking when I saw this guy who was dressed like it was still 2004. How dare you come into my wilderness looking like the Green Goblin? I knew without question that I had to teach this young man a very valuable lesson. Don't you ever, and I mean ever, come back in these savage streets with those green boots, and those green gloves. Ever again. Wow. A 62 straight to the dome. Wow. Now boys, I need you boys to follow these precise instructions. Go to your kitchen, take the biggest pot you have and put all your important documents in there. Put on at least 3 warm pieces of clothing. Then, open up your freezer and put the pot next to it. Now, light your documents up, boys. Light them up. This is how you defeat the winter. In real life. Vanish your social security cards to the lake of fire. Alright boys, pay close attention. This right here is a perfect example at how clutch this dragon Warhammer actually is. Alright boys, pay close attention, because this fight right here is a perfect example at how clutch this dragon Warhammer actually is. Even though the guy we are fighting has full DH, his beefcake armor stands no chance against our tenderizing slaps. Did you see that boys? Right when he was about to tele away, we slapped him down with a massive 40 whack, straight to the back of the dome. My god boys. That kill was extremely clean, and extremely satisfying. Wow. Just look at that full DH boys, that has to be nearly 10 million coins. We're getting rich boys, we are getting rich. And in conclusion, this Dragon Warhammer is undoubtedly a meat tenderizing machine. And I highly suggest you try this weapon out if you haven't had a chance to, if of course you can afford the hefty price of 46 million coins. And as for the rating of this weapon, I'm going to have to give it a 10 out of 11. Strictly based upon the fact that it is basically a mix of a pocket AGS crossed with a BGS. And it only requires 60 attack to wield. And since this weapon is not commonly used in the wilderness, Many players underestimate its tenderizing powers. And you boys know exactly what happens when you underestimate the powers. You get clapped. With the quickness. Wow. As always boys, make sure you hit that like button down below, along with that subscribe button, and that join the channel button. This is going to be the last unpopular weapon that we use for the next 4 weeks, because I have some new videos to bring to the table, that will truly change your perspective of your RuneScape life. Forever. So make sure you boys stay tuned. And make sure you boys keep your eyes and ears open. Because real lies. Don't believe all of this fake news. The end times are here boys. And it was written over 2,000 years ago. This is just a warning. We're all gonna die.